This first story is a classic tale of the unknown, one that's been told in countless variations but remains just as chilling every time. It's the story of the Vanishing Hitchhiker.
Should have left earlier. This road is dead at night.
Alex was on his way home after a long day at work. He'd taken this route 100 times before, but tonight felt different. Maybe it was the fog rolling in. Maybe it was the way the trees seemed to close in on the road. Or maybe it was the figure he saw standing under a flickering streetlight up ahead.
Hey, you okay? Need a ride?
She didn't say much, just gave him an address a few miles down the road and stared out the window. Alex tried to make small talk, but something about her made him uneasy. Her skin was pale, almost translucent. Her clothes were soaked, though it hadn't rained in days. And her voice, it was soft, almost like a whisper.
So, what's your name?
Emily?
The drive was silent after that. Alex kept his eyes on the road, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The air in the car grew colder. The radio static grew louder. And then, he saw it.
Stop the car.
Emily, where'd you go?
Alex drove to the address she'd given him, his hands trembling on the wheel. The house was old, its windows dark, and its porch sagging. He knocked on the door, half expecting no one to answer. But an elderly woman opened the door, her eyes filled with tears.
That's my daughter, Emily. She died 10 years ago. She was hit by a car on that road.
Alex never drove that road again. But to this day, people claim to see Emily standing under that flickering streetlight, waiting for a ride that will never come.
You're not the first person to see her.
Thank you for the ride.
This next story is one of those encounters. A tale of a truck that shouldn't exist, and a driver who wishes they'd never seen it.
Why did I agree to drive this late? This road gives me the creeps.
Sarah was on her way home after visiting a friend. She'd taken this route dozens of times before, but tonight felt different. Maybe it was the way the trees seemed to loom over the road. Maybe it was the strange silence that hung in the air. Or maybe it was the truck that appeared in her rearview mirror.
Where did you come from? Why are you following me?
Sarah tried to ignore it, but the truck was relentless. It tailgated her, its headlights flooding her car with light. She could feel the vibrations of its engine through her seat. And then, she saw the driver. What the hell is wrong with this guy? Sarah's heart raced as the truck matched her speed. She tried to slow down, but it slowed down with her. She tried to speed up, but it stayed right beside her. And then, she saw the writing on the side of the truck. What does that mean? Sarah didn't know what to do. She sat there for what felt like hours, her hands trembling on the wheel. Finally, she pulled back onto the road and drove home, her eyes constantly darting to the rearview mirror. But the truck was gone, or so she thought. No. Sarah never saw the truck again, but to this day, she refuses to drive at night. And if you ever find yourself on a deserted highway, and you see a black semi-truck with the words, "Do not follow," on the side, don't ignore the warning. Weeks passed, and Sarah tried to forget the incident. But one night, as she drove home from work, she glanced in her rearview mirror and saw it again. The same black truck, the same ominous message. Panic surged through her. She sped up, hoping to lose it, but the truck kept pace. She took sharp turns, drove through side streets, but it was always there, looming behind her. Sarah's mind raced. What did it want? Why was it following her? She decided to head to the nearest police station, hoping for safety. As she pulled into the parking lot, the truck vanished. She ran inside, breathless, and told the officers everything. They searched the area but found no trace of the truck. The officers assured her they would keep an eye out, but Sarah knew the truth. The truck wasn't just a vehicle, it was something else, something that defied explanation. From that night on, Sarah never drove alone after dark. She always made sure to have someone with her, and she never took the same route twice. But deep down, she knew it was only a matter of time before the truck found her again. So, if you ever find yourself on a lonely road at night, and you see a black semi-truck with the words, "Do not follow," on the side, remember Sarah's story. and whatever you do, don't follow it. This final story is one of those nightmares. It's a tale of a road that never ends, and a driver who wishes he'd never found it. Scene 2. Mark is lost.
Where the hell am I? This GPS is useless. Scene 3, the GPS.
Mark was on his way to a friend's cabin in the woods. He'd never been there before, but the GPS had seemed reliable enough, until it stopped working. Now he was lost, driving down a road that seemed to stretch on forever. Scene 4. This can't be right.
This can't be right. I should have reached the cabin by now. Scene 5, dead end. Scene 6, the road keeps going.
Mark tried to turn around, but the road was too narrow. He had no choice but to keep going, hoping he'd find a place to turn around or a house where he could ask for directions. But the road just kept going, and going, and going. Scene 7. Unease grows. Mark's unease grew with every mile. The trees seemed to close in around him. The road seemed to twist and turn in ways that defied logic. And then, he saw it. Scene 8. What the hell is that?
What the hell is that? Scene 9, turn back.
Mark didn't know what to do. The man looked like he needed help, but something about him made Mark's skin crawl. He decided to keep driving, but as he passed the man, he heard a voice that seemed to come from inside his own head. Voice. VO. Turn back. You don't belong here. Scene 10. The road is gone. Mark didn't know what to do. He sat there for what felt like hours, his hands trembling on the wheel. Finally, he pulled back onto the road and drove home, his eyes constantly darting to the rearview mirror. But the road was gone. Or so he thought. Scene 11. The road returns.
No. Scene 12, don't ignore the warning.
Mark never saw the road again, but to this day, he refuses to drive at night. And if you ever find yourself on a deserted highway and you see a road that seems to stretch on forever, don't ignore the warning. And there you have it. 3 chilling stories that prove even the most ordinary night drive can take a terrifying turn. From ghostly hitchhikers to roads that defy reality, the dark can hold secrets we're not meant to uncover. If this video sent shivers down your spine, do me a favor. Hit that like button and let me know in the comments which story creeped you out the most. Was it the vanishing hitchhiker, the haunted truck, or the endless road that seemed to trap its victims forever? And if you're new to the 6th Frequency, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell icon so you never miss a story that will keep you up at night. We've got plenty more horror, mysteries, and spine-tingling tales coming your way. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. And remember, the next time you're driving alone at night, you might not be as alone as you think. Until next time, keep your headlights on and your doors locked.